I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
There's been a bit of a theme in our house this week.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It came off the back of birthday festivities. Well, I say festivities. There were none, but there were presents.
Well, that's good.
So that's all good. So what actually that means is I got a lot of Lego.
Well, yes, it's standard procedure, isn't it?
It is, but what it's set in motion is an issue.
Oh.
Because I've always shied away from getting stuck in on the Speed Champions range, the small cars.
Yeah, I've had a few, but yes, I know what you mean.
Because I thought, if I start buying these, I'll get hooked and I'll have to buy them all.
You will, and it's a bit pricey.
Yeah, I mean, they're not unreasonable. They're sort of between 15 and 20 quid a pop.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but
it's not ruinous. But what's happened here is I've been bought some. So I now have to buy them all.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't sit here with an incomplete set. And obviously, with it being bloody Lego, we've retired loads of them already.
Oh, yeah, no, that is a problem across all their ranges, actually. Yeah, no, that is, yeah. We've got the same problem with the Creator set. Oh, so have you.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, they're
missing now. Yes.
So
well, they are really expensive, so you can't get all those in one go.
No, they're pants down, those ones.
They really are.
Yeah, so I'm now in the unfortunate predicament of trawling online sellers. Some are quite attainable, some are not.
Yeah, the ones that get really rare and the sellers who know that
they're going to milk that.
They're going to cause you an issue.
Yes. But in the past week, I've managed. I think all of the gifts that I've received have been. I've got the Aston Martin Valkyrie, the Aston Martin Vantage GT3, the Lamborghini Countach, the Ferrari 512M, and the Toyota GR Supra.
Ooh, a fine collection.
So not too bad. I've had a little rummage around to find other bits and bobs as well. So I think by the time we get to next week's episode, there might be an update on purchases.
Lovely.
Very dangerous. There are other Lego things that I do need to discuss as well. However, in the Speed Champions range, now I've become an aficionado now.
You got all the names and everything sorted now, yeah.
There's one for you and I. I think it's rumored to be next month. There's a DB5 coming. And
clearly we're going to have that.
It's rumored to include a James Bond minifigure as well.
Yes, because we've got the big one.
Yeah, we both have the big one with the gadgets.
Yes, but a little one would be very nice.
That would, because I've been fortunate enough. I've got the big London bus and the little London bus. They're sat next to each other.
Oh, very good. I haven't got either of the London buses, but that's excellent. Yes, so
if I could do the same with the DB5, I'd be very happy.
Oh, yes, very nice. It is. I've heard tell that there's a DeLorean time machine out, not the little one, but a big one.
No, there's a new one. Because do you remember that? I think it was it the Ideas range was kind of launched off the back of a DeLorean.
Oh, was it?
Was that the first kit? Because
I thought the Fishing Hut was the first kit.
Maybe it was actually. Yeah. Maybe it was.
Because we got that as soon as it came out. That's one of the big kits that we did buy.
The fishing one's lovely.
The Fishing Hut's fantastic. That's one of the best kits I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's absolutely brilliant.
That's a pants down one now.
Yeah, to be fair, it was at the time. So it's even worse now.
Yeah, ruinous.
But we knew that would do that. So we that was one of the ones we got right, and we grabbed it really early on.
Yeah, that was a good shout.
Yes, but there is a new DeLorean, I believe.
There is, and it looks significantly better than that original one, because the original one was a little bit shit.
Yes, it was. I do have it.
Yeah, it's
In
just
fact, it sits on top of the display case for my, my big, the Eagle Moss one,
yeah.
which clearly is where it's at. But
Oh yeah, that's the one.
that's the daddy, that one. Yes, that's right. But yeah, I have seen pictures of the larger DeLorean one. So yeah, that might have to be acquired at some point.
Yeah, that one is still available at present, so
Might have to get in there on
you
that
get
one.
stuck in, and I believe you can make all 3 variants. Not
Well,
at
you can.
once, obviously, but
No, it was. You can with the little one, funnily
oh,
enough.
you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
you
is true,
can.
yeah.
It's got bits in the box to do all three.
Hmm.
But yeah, lovely.
Yes, I
Yes.
believe that. I mean, while it's still available and still able to buy, it's obviously out of stock.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
Obviously.
that's fine. While we're on the topic of Lego cars, one of my bigger presents was the 911 that you can make as the turbo or the Targa, the white
Oh,
one.
right. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know the one. Yes.
So
Lovely.
that's quite lovely, and there's also a retired speed champion one of that. So I kind of want the big and little version as well.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course I
Yeah,
do.
of course you do.
Um,
Dirty.
yeah.
Yes.
And one final one, which isn't strictly car related, although it does have cars in it, is one that's was very recently released and is already on back order. And that was the this Jurassic Park, the T-Rex breakout scene, where and it's incredibly detailed. It's really well done.
Oh,
It's quite big actually as well.
oh, fantastic. Has it got a Ford Explorer upside down?
It does, and it's got a T-Rex with its foot on it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they have thought of everything.
Fantastic.
Uh, And
Oh, I like that.
in the Ford, there is the other Ford Explorer behind it intact with Ian
Yes.
Malcolm sat in it, and
Yes.
on the dashboard it has the 2 glasses of water.
Oh, I love that. I
Mm.
love that they do that. That's brilliant.
Oh, and another one on the other side of the fence is the chain that the goat was attached to.
Oh, see, somebody's watched the movie really carefully. List, haven't they, of all
Mm.
the things they need to include?
Yeah, so that was that's a good one. That,
So you don't get a slightly gnarled cow hanging off the end of it.
no, fortunately not. No, they've erred on the side of caution and made it kid
They've,
friendly.
they stopped themselves before they did that. That's probably an extra you can order.
Yeah, I would say perhaps not from the Lego shop.
No, a headless sign just on the toilet. That would be another nice addition to that scene as
Oh
well.
yeah, because they half of him went in and the other half was on the bog, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, but
So
you could probably make that yourself. To be fair,
oh yeah, we could fashion out. There's enough Lego kicking around in the house.
there you go.
But yeah, really nicely presented that, and
Brilliant.
it's got a little plaque on the front of it and everything. They've made it kind of almost like a diorama kind of thing.
Oh, fantastic! You're never too old for Lego, are you? Let's be honest.
No, we're all guilty of that, really.
It's just brilliant. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I've banged so much in this week; it's been ridiculous.
You've
It's
done well there. I
well,
completely missed that it was your birthday. That's very poor of me. I do
it's
apologise.
all right. No one's going to lose sleep over it.
No, that's just as well. Yes.
It's fine. Don't worry about that. But no, so I've been doing that of an evening to calm me down from the work dickheads. So.
It's been a bit like it, hasn't it, this week? Yes.
So yep, that'll happen. But yeah,
Very
I thought that
good.
was all noteworthy because I think all the gifts I received were car related. Oh no, they weren't actually. No, I tell a lie. You'll like it because it's a nice film tie-in. But Kelly got me first editions of all the Thomas Harris books, the Lecter books. So
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, they're sitting rather gloriously on the shelf. I like that.
Oh, yes, and I've a proper collection. Lovely.
Yeah, they're pristine as well, considering the age. I think, blimey, how have you managed that?
Very good. They're not reprints or anything.
No, proper first editions from. I mean, Red Dragon was 81.
Yeah, somebody's cared for those then.
Yeah, someone's looked after it. So she bought me those and said, right, they're for looking at. You've got. I bought you some crap copies that you can read.
Oh, fantastic! Those are never to be opened.
No, they're
Very
really unspoiled. It
good.
seems rude to sort of go in there and break the spine because they're the
read,
meaty
read,
hardbacks.
read these tatty ones. Pop them
Mm.
on eBay when you're done. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes. So yeah, not all
Good.
car related, but yes, the majority of them were.
Well, he had a Jag.
Oh, he loves the Jag.
He had a
He had
Jag, didn't he?
all the treats in there.
He did.
And what
Yeah.
else?
He had
Oh,
a black XJR, I seem to remember, which is absolutely perfect.
that seems fair, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I think actually, they made it into a TV series in recent times with Mads
Yes.
Mikkelsen playing Hannibal.
Yes.
I do believe his car was a Bentley Arnage.
Okay. I'd say that's slightly less on the money
I
than an
think
XJR.
I think it suited the way he played it. I'll go with that.
Fair enough. I've not seen them.
Okay.
Because a black XJR is properly sinister. Yeah,
well, this one's quite. I think the Bentley's more suited to him because he's visually more lavish because just the way he portrays himself because he's very because it's well, it is in the correct universe and the characters are there, but it's sort of playing on the story a little bit. There's been tweaks, so he's not been captured. Obviously, it's still early days. So yeah, he's still putting on lavish dinner parties, and Hannibal himself is presented quite lavishly as well.
So the Bentley's probably more appropriate.
Yeah, the way whoever's picked his costume in terms of suits and ties and things have done very well, and whoever's paired the car with that is.
Yeah, lavish is a good word for the Arnage, isn't it? Or indeed any Bentley, to be honest.
That's it, yeah, because
that works. Ugly, but
I don't mind an Arnage.
No, the Arnage is okay. I was thinking some of the rest of the current range, but
no, let's not get down the Aventega route. We'll be here for hours while I'm mowing.
We will, but yes, an Arnage. I could see that working if that's how it's played. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I'll. You should. Well, I don't even need to lend you the Blu-ray. It's on Prime, so there you
go. I'll soon find that.
Yes, that's always worth watching. If it's not on Prime, it means Netflix have bought it back for a couple of months.
Whilst we're on the subject of content that's on Prime, have you? Well, I'll let you decide whether we talk about this or not. Have you watched the second season of Star Trek Picard yet?
I still haven't. I'm still letting the side down.
There's some car action in that.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, exactly. I won't say any more. I won't say any more than that because if I say why, it'll give away some story. So I won't say anything. But when you've watched it, we need to come back to that.
Okay, put a pin in it and give me a week or two, and we'll reconvene.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
You've got a reason to do it now.
Oh, I've had several reasons to do it. I've just been lacking. I'm just useless.
There are lots of reasons to do it, which you wouldn't argue with. I know. But
no. I'm not. It's not like I'm protesting and go, I'm not watching that shit.
No, you're not there. Right. I will make a note. We need to come back to that.
Yes, please do. Yeah, I'll scribble it down too because
you'll know it when you see it.
Okay. Right. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Excellent. Right. To move us away from plastic cars,
yes.
We spoke a little while back about Porsche and you couldn't possibly electrify a 911 yet because
we have talked about that. Yes.
Yeah, you can't do it yet because you've got to ease them in gently. They're a touchy breed.
Very much so. You've got to build up to that. Yeah.
So we said, obviously, the Porsche's plan is to electrify Cayman and Boxster first,
which we said made sense.
Yep, and well, that's it. That makes it. It's just pulling the plaster off very slowly.
I've been doing some of that this week, but that's another subject.
Oh yes, I forgot you tried to sever your hand. Didn't you?
I did.
How's that coming along? Is it still attached? Is it?
It's still it's still quite sore, but it is improving. Yes, we didn't cover it on the podcast, but I managed to slash my left hand quite deeply with a knife, and yes, but it's on the mend now. Yes, it wasn't funny.
It was this end. I'll be honest.
It really hurt.
Well. It puts you in mind of Mr. Partridge, doesn't it? Oh, pierce my foot on a spike.
Yes, it was very much like that. Yes, except I wasn't in a country club car park.
Oh dear!
About to host an award ceremony.
Border techniques. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
full beam.
Oh dear! Right.
And anybody who hasn't seen that will mean nothing.
No, that just seems like we're saying random words in strange accents.
Which indeed we are.
Yeah, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm sure a bunch of our listeners will have already enjoyed a bit of Steve Coogan.
I imagine the majority will be familiar.
Yes. Right, back at Porsche electrifying.
That was it. Sorry. Yes. Indeed. Well, you said peel the plaster off slowly. I had to mention.
I did. Oh, yeah. Don't peel it off. You'll only start picking, and you'll make it worse.
I know. It needs to stay on a bit longer.
That's it. Yes. So they want to electrify the Cayman and Boxster.
Mm-hmm.
This week they've shown off a concept of a Cayman GT4 E Performance.
Oh.
Which is essentially a Cayman racing car that is fully electric.
Oh.
And it is demonic.
Oh, be still my trousers. I may have to have a look at this.
It's wonderful. I mean, the basic headlines are that it's got it's 4-wheel drive, dual motor. It's quite lightweight considering it's got all of that gubbins in it. They're basically looking at it as a stepping stone. They're saying, right, obviously we're electrifying the Cayman and Boxster the next time they come out.
Yes.
What this is a foot in the door. This is also what we want to see as the future of GT racing.
Okay, so they're sort of saying, calm down, we've not touched the 911 yet, but have a look at this.
Have a look at this. So what they're thinking is they're going to do a one-make racing series with this. This is their sort of ultimate goal.
Okay.
With this Cayman. And what they want to do is run it alongside the Carrera Cup.
Right.
Because they already do that. There's national championships of Carrera Cup all around the world, and then there's the Porsche Super Cup, which is the one that is a support race for Formula One. And all they do is they race the 911 Cup cars. It's a one-make series, and it's good press. They always joke. They say we love the Carrera Cup racing because Porsche always wins.
Yeah, well,
but what they want to do is they want to take these electric ones and put them alongside, and say, look, right, you've got your 911s racing around, aren't they great? Have a look at these electric Caymans that are equivalent, if not a little bit faster.
There are design cues. We've brought up some pictures. There are design cues from Taycan, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there's a few little similarities. I mean, it's obviously still quite Cayman.
Yeah.
The rear of it, the rear track seems quite wide. They've beefed it up, and it's got that glorious sort of swan tail spoiler on it. Because what they've done is they've borrowed some of the 911 RSR suspensions. So the RSR is the Le Mans spec 911. So some really beefy suspension on it. And they've got various modes that you can drive this thing in, but the basic ones are you've got a race mode and a qualifying mode.
Okay.
So you've got race modes that will give you 600 horsepower. And they're saying what they want to do is for race mode, if they're doing these one make series, that said ideally if we're doing sort of 40-45 minute races with them, which they said they'd be happy with that as a starting point.
Okay.
Then they said, right, when it's qualifying time, we can turn it up. Give you 1,000 horsepower.
Oh dear, that'll take your face off.
Yeah. And it's been on track already.
Right.
Chris Harris has been driving it around Valencia.
Oh dear. Well, he knows his way around a steering wheel.
Yeah, he does, and he did poos. He swore a lot when they put him in qualifying mode. There's a lot of Fs and Jeffs.
Oh dear. Right.
Yeah, caught him with his pants down a little, that one.
Oh dear.
So what they've done as well is, because they said they need to make this quite efficient, the cooling system on it for the batteries is a bit of a different take. It's oil cooled.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they said it's probably not tech you'd use on the road, but for this, it's perfect.
Okay, fair enough.
But they said it's actually a lot simpler than cooling an internal combustion engine, because they said it's just one loop, one pump, just chug the oil around and away you go.
Yeah, it was only one moving part, isn't there, in the whole thing? So, yeah.
So that's good. The engineers love it because there's no engine, gearbox, exhaust in the way, so they can make glorious aero at the rear.
Yeah, absolutely. Much simpler machine.
Yeah, so that when you look at the rear of it, the diffuser is, it's a wonderful thing to look at on its own.
Just have one of those.
Yeah, and obviously you're used to a Cayman being a mid-engine car.
Yes.
With sort of more of a rear bias on it. Amusingly, the weight distribution on this car is 52-48 to the front.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
is it dual motor?
Dual motor, yep. It's running a 900-volt system, and
same as Cayman, then. Same as Taycan.
Yeah. It can be the charge can be boosted from 5% to 80% in 15 minutes using their setup they've got in the pits.
Right, yeah. Ooh, very good.
Which is not a bad turnaround, really, is it?
No, I think that's known as dumping energy into the battery. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they're intending to do that, really. They're saying, look, initially it's going to be a one stint race and all done.
Yes.
We're not intending to pit them at the moment, but they've got an eye already down ahead of them, thinking that far ahead. So
yeah, sure, yeah. Oh, nice.
So yeah, and it looks spectacular as well. There's I think it's turn. Oh god, I never get it right. It's either 13 and 14 or 15 and 16. I can never remember how many turns Valencia's got, but it's this wonderful. There's this crest and long swooping left-hander, and then it tightens into a really sharp left-hander. And the car coming over there, my goodness me, it looked fast and terrifying to drive all at once.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a treat incoming there.
Oh, very good. Yes, be watching that very, very closely.
Yeah. What's this? Chris Harris asked a very good question. In the video, he did a really great video on collecting cars, YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah.
He asked a question about the motor tech in it, and he said, does it share anything with the 919 Le Mans prototype, the outgoing one that they retired a couple of years back?
Right, yeah.
And the engineer said, well, no, actually, it shares more with the Taycan than it does with the old car, or the old racing car.
So you'd sort of expect that, though, wouldn't you? Because the technology's moved on.
Taycan
is where all their development has been of late.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a valid question, because obviously those motors in the 919 were developed purely for racing. So
purely for racing, and quite a while ago, things have moved on. Yeah.
So yes, but obviously their intention is for this to all trickle down and This is it. You can imagine sort of a slightly toned down version of this ending up in the Cayman and the Boxster.
Oh yeah, I mean, clearly bringing it to the road is where it'll end up. It'll have to. So yeah, that's great. That's great. And Cayman is where it should be next, I think. Yeah, I mean, they've creditably not done a sports car or an expensive sports car or an SUV first. They did a saloon car, which they then turned into an estate. And now, when they've got that sorted, they're looking at the sports car, and I think that's the right way to do it.
And again, they're doing it. They're not leaping in with both feet. They're sort of going, right, we got the racing car first. Have a look at that. What do you think of that? That's going to make everyone go, ooh and ah.
It'll do that, and it'll also help them develop the technology faster than if they put it on the road first, I suspect.
Yeah, that's it.
If it can stand the pace on the track, it'll be fine on the road.
Yeah, that's it. Not only that, I mean the abuse as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll watch this space on that one.
That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. I'm glad they're doing that. And they're showing a huge commitment to electric, aren't they? I mean, they've got in there early and are getting on that. Yeah.
Yep. Happy with that.
Good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, there you go. Look at you. Look at you engaging with motorsport there.
Well, only a little bit.
A little bit. It's fine. I'm going to make you engage with a bit more now.
We'll see.
I am. I'm not going to talk about racing. We're going back on tech again for a minute.
Okay, tech is good.
So, right. You'll be aware that I'm a big fan of Le Mans.
You've mentioned it.
And we're not very far away from it now.
We're just coming up, isn't it?
We're heading into June. I think we're, at the time of recording, 23 days away.
You're not going this year, are you?
I'm not going this year. No. The big trip has been deferred till next year because it's the centenary. Wouldn't want to miss that.
Makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. Yes.
So we'll have a bit of that. However, the top class at Le Mans is the one that everyone wants to win. It's the big fancy bit. It's all the prototype cars that we all gush over and go, aren't they wonderful to look at? And my goodness me, aren't they fast?
Yes.
We've had a bit of a shake-up because in years gone by, it's been LMP1. But as of last year, it became Hypercar. What this is in aid of is to get more manufacturers back in. But also force their hand to go, right, we're going to get some decent tech in this. Because Le Mans has always been more road relevant than Formula One.
Yes, that's probably fair to say. Yes.
Yeah. And it's got to be said that Le Mans will be the place where we get full EV racing way before it happens in Formula One.
Well, that's where we had diesel racing first, wasn't it? And
hybrid, yeah. Yes. So
even I know that.
What they're doing now is they're basically sort of trying to get more people back in, lower the costs a bit, develop the hybrid and the next step on, because even they're sensible enough to realize, ultimately we're going to be going full EV, but we can't do 24 hours yet. We've got to get there in steps.
No, they can't. No, sadly.
So this hyperclass, they're basically, what they're doing is they're splitting it into two. There's an LMH and an LMDH.
Okay.
So what they do, the LMDH is aimed more towards the IMSA Championship in America, because the D in it stands for Daytona. Just for reference. So
that makes sense. Yes,
but they can choose to race in Le Mans against the LMH cars. So, and what they're going to do, because they're similarly spec'd but not identical, they will do their best to balance them in order to make the racing competitive.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's fine. So the hybrid powertrains can be essentially whatever you want in terms of configuration, really. The rules, I mean, there are certain restrictions, but the rules are based on an overall power output from internal combustion and hybrid. the hybrid, interestingly, isn't mandatory in the LMH, but it is mandatory in the LMDH. Which, but what they say, the LMH, which is they are only entering Le Mans or the WEC. They can have a fully sort of customized hybrid system, and the manufacturers can just pour their efforts into it. Whereas the LMDH have a communal hybrid system that they all share.
Right.
It's basically made up of Bosch components and Williams engineering stuff.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, so really good, solid grounding, and really good way of holding the money at a decent point as well, so you're not overspending. And what they're saying as well is in LMH, the hybrid can be delivered to front and or rear wheels, but the LMDH can only be delivered to the front.
Okay.
So if you look at the rules, you basically, if you want to build a competitive car but not sink all the money into it, you go into the DH one rather than the LMH one, because everything's a bit more cost capped. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But the internal combustion stuff, it's essentially a free for all. As long as you don't exceed that power output, you can have what you like.
You can do what you like, right?
Because we think already with the Toyota's running a 3.5 litre V6 turbo. The Glickenhaus has got a 3.5 litre V8, but that doesn't have hybrid, interestingly.
Okay.
We know that the Peugeot that's coming in next year has got 2.6 V6 turbo.
Right.
So I think there's going to be different flavors, and you think back to the Porsche, that the old outgoing 919 hybrid, that had a V4 in it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to get all sorts of different treats. So again, the weight limit on them, I believe, is set to just over 1,000 kilograms, which is actually heavier than the old cars. But it's, again, you're saving money by not shaving weight off.
True. Yeah.
So someone's thought about this in a much better way than they think about Formula One rules.
Well, that's just a shambles, isn't it? From what I can see.
Yes.
Yes.
But the theory has worked. Because we're fairly early on in this new class, so this coming Le Mans, in this top class, we've only got 3 different cars. They're all entering multiple cars, so it's a fairly packed out class anyway, but we've only got the Toyota, Glickenhaus and Alpine. However, from 23, that pads out enormously, because in LMH we got a Peugeot, we got Ferrari. Someone said Van Wall's coming back. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Oh, that's a name from the early days of motoring.
That is. I don't know whether that's a rumor or real thing. Bugatti are rumored to do it, which is perfect for Le Mans.
Yes.
In the LMDH class, in 23, Audi are coming back, Porsche, Acura, BMW, Cadillac.
Now there's a name synonymous with race. Oh no, wait a minute.
Well, it is actually synonymous with prototype racing in America, and it has been in the past sort of 10 years.
Okay, not little old ladies in Fort Lauderdale.
No. Actually, it's been because they race in the DPI class at the moment, I think it is. And yeah, they've been trying to shake off that image by doing this sort of thing.
I bet they have. Yes, that is a serious problem for them. Yeah. They do have brand problems.
They really do.
They really do.
On top of those confirmed ones, we got rumours of McLaren, Ford, and then we got private entries from Phoenix Racing, Proton Competition, and WRT.
Okay.
It's ridiculous, because you think, well, I mean, going on my previous knowledge, I won't bore you with it, but Proton, they'll basically be buying a Porsche off someone to race that.
Yeah,
WRT, probably. I would assume, will be buying an Audi, because that's what they run in other classes.
Okay.
If WRT enter, there will be the potential for a very, very big motorsport name to be behind the wheel. but from the world of two wheels, amusingly.
Okay.
But even you know who he is. We've discussed him before, but Valentino Rossi actually retired at the end of last year.
Yeah, I thought you might say him. Yes.
However, he's been racing for WRT in GT World.
Okay.
So he might finally get a crack at Le Mans.
Oh, very good. On four wheels.
On four wheels. So, yeah, that would be interesting to see. I bet that would put bums on seats as well.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah.
And finally, just the following year, it seems we've got further two confirmations of Alpine, and also confirmed that only this week, Lamborghini.
Ooh, that'll be flamboyant.
Yes, there'll be spectacles and then a fireball or something along those lines. But
you won't end well. No. But it'll look great. Yeah.
But I mean, like I say, it's worked. That's a ridiculous list.
Yeah, it is. That even I can see that's a pretty exciting list. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the tech that's equally exciting, though. I think the way they've handled that and the way they've put the emphasis on the hybrid, I think it'll work. I think this is more. I think the early days of the hybrid Le Mans, while I think it was good to get it in there, some of it was a bit crap.
Yeah.
But this, I think they've really nailed.
Could be onto something there.
I think that. I mean, I don't know if I'd make you watch the whole thing, but I think it would spark your interest having a look at this sort of info.
It could.
Well, you almost got excited when we were talking about the Bosch and Williams stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I do get excited about the tech. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, very good.
So
very good.
yeah, I'm under no illusions. We're not going to get you there anytime soon. But
No.
But it does make me ask another question though. What if it were a smaller event? What one could I get you to? Do you reckon?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the events. I don't know.
This is true. I don't
know what's on. I can't.
I mean, not even I want to visit a Formula One race, for instance.
No, you don't. You're not into that. No, I know.
I don't mind it. I'll watch it on telly, but I have no intention to remortgage and go and see it.
No.
But we've always said that your foot in the door with a bit of motorsport is something that you can relate to. Be it,
I would need to, yes.
Be it a bit of rallying or a bit of touring cars, something like that. Something you
rallying or touring cars have the most chance. Yes, Formula One. No.
No, like I said, you're even going to struggle to get me to it. So,
and even you're not into that. So yes, right.
So, all right then.
Rallying a touring car, yeah. I mean, rallying at least you get a nice walk first.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wrap up warm. Also, you're going to need your passport at the moment because there's not a British around. So you'd either, if you want the world event, you're going to have to go somewhere else, or you're going to have to go for something a bit more, a bit of a lower key event.
Okay. Well, we can look at that. Yeah.
We can, yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, there you go.
I think it would need to be one of those.
We can watch this space then on that. See if I can get you to one. Now.
See if you can come up with something that's compelling. Yes. Make me an offer.
Okay, we'll make you an offer. Okay, I'll have a think about that. We might drag you to something. I think you'll enjoy that because, not only are there cars there, which I think will
clearly
interest you, but
yes,
there'll be beers and fried foods.
Yeah, those also interest me. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. That'll seal the deal. I think
could be a winning combination there. Yes, that's right. How much extra would I have to pay to have a hotel room rather than a tent?
Oh dear. Oh, you're not going full experience then.
No. I'm not
camping. Big tent.
I'm not camping.
You're not camping. Oh,
I'm not camping. I am not. That is a red line. I am not.
Oh dear, you've been ruined in your childhood, haven't you?
No, it's because my childhood involved camping that I have a firm rule as an adult. I am not camping.
That's what. You see, that's where the opposite was. I never really got dragged camping. I went to some dodgy B&Bs along the way, but Yeah, never camped. There was oh god, I can't even remember where it was, but there is this B&B run by a very strange person. It wasn't even
They
like
all
Basil
are.
Fault. It's not like a Basil Faulty type situation.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just odd. I mean, just a bit leery, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, not good at
It's
all.
an interesting life choice to want to run that sort of establishment, I would suggest.
When I used to travel a lot for work, head office was in the Forest of Dean,
Okay.
which I mean is the back end of Beyond. It really is.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I'm sure I've told you the story before, actually, because the first time I stayed in this place, this should have been the sort of red flag. And I get let in by the little chap. He's a tiny little bloke, grey hair, grey beard, always wore a red blazer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, quite quite a nice bloke. Just I think he'd been in the forest for a while.
He'd
And
been left wandering around too long.
yeah, and so we he leads me upstairs to where my room is, and
Oh dear.
he hands me the key. And, well, actually, he opened the door and took me in and talked me through the features of the room, which seemed to be bed and bog.
Yeah, so I've used both of these items before.
Yeah,
I
and
know how they work.
then I got shown the television,
Oh.
and he said, "Oh, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4." So, oh, good. He said, "And if the wind's blowing in the right direction, you got channel 5." He said, "That's because you're in the forest now." What?
Oh my god! Run!
Oh no! Oh,
Oh, that's bad.
what a place! What a place! And
Did
it
you
was,
sleep with the light on?
and it was always weird. I mean, like I said, they were lovely people. Him and his wife who ran it. I don't know if I ever saw her. Actually, she might have just been a figment of his imagination.
It's just a story he tells. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen now. That's funny. She's
What,
always
under
there.
the floor?
Yeah. Oh my goodness! And
In the freezer?
I think one is because Rob stayed there with me a few times, and it was just weird. You both sit there eating your dinner, going, you could hear a bloody pin drop in here.
Oh dear.
It's no one can hear you scream, kind of thing.
Yes. Oh
It's
my words.
yeah.
No. Well, yes, if we could avoid that as well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I'll pick an event near there so you can experience the place.
Oh, be great. Yeah, no, I was thinking more in lines of a travel lodge or something like that.
Oh my god, you take a travel lodge over a tent?
Yes, I would. Yes.
Oh my goodness me! At least a
Yes,
tent's
I
a
would.
known quantity. In a
I
travel lodge, you got spunk up the walls.
Jesus. Maybe in your room.
No. I'm not saying I am. I'm an applicator of it. I'm just saying these things happen in the real world.
Yes, they do. I know. The travel lodge chain was founded that sort of thing.
Yeah, a little getaway with a bit on the side kind of thing. No,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
questions asked.
There you
Spunk up the
go.
wall.
It was ideal for that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'd still rather something with walls and a roof than canvas. Yes.
Oh dear. Well, I'm sure we can accommodate that too. It's fine.
This should not be a surprise. We've had this discussion before.
No, but I also said to you before, camping with your mates is very different to camping with the family.
Yeah, that's not necessarily selling it.
No, and granted, we did have that story of when I went to the touring cars last year. I did wake up at 4 a.m. in the field.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, I've heard many tales of going quite spectacularly wrong.
Yeah. Well, I went too hard too soon.
You did.
I know where it went wrong, so it's on me, that one.
Yeah, you didn't pace yourself.
No, well, that's it. We'd all been stuck indoors for too long, so I was allowed out, and I went for it.
That was your first post-lockdown trip, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And like you say, you let it go to your head a bit. You were a bit giddy with that.
Yeah.
You got a bit silly.
I saw all the different beers, and I had them all.
You did, all at once.
All at once, yeah. So
because
that was
you hadn't seen one for quite some time.
No, and at no point did I have to drive that day.
Oh, fatal.
Everyone else had to drive, so that was, yes.
There you go. Right, yes. Let's talk about cars, shall we?
Yeah. There's been a little teaser. I don't know if you saw it. It was on Twitter, and a few news outlets have picked up on it. And it was a little teaser image from Prodrive.
Oh, I've seen something about this, yeah.
And it was the silhouette of a 2-door Impreza with P25 written on it.
Yes, I did see that. Yes.
We're thinking, well, what are we going to get? What's this? Because what would that be? So that's 20. I assume it's for 25 years because they're also releasing it. I think the news will come out on the 25th next week.
Okay, yeah.
So speculation's been doing the rounds. And, well, some people have said, oh, I wonder if it will be an electric one. And then the internet went mad and went, please don't make an electric Impreza in an old body. Please don't do that, please. Right, so that's good. And other people said it's going to be like the best resto mod you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I know which one I'd prefer.
Yeah. What information have we got to go on? Are they saying
absolutely bugger all, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a project and that's it. We don't know what we're getting, really. They've been really quite sneaky.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
But it's done the trick, though. Everyone's had a little gibber about it this week.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? You see, when you put something out like that and you get everybody talking about it, it's kind of doing its job, isn't it? Really,
that's it. And I love the fact that an argument's already broken out about nothing that's been confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what clever marketing is about, isn't it? Yeah, you just put out it's like they've done with the new DeLorean. It's like Elon smashing the window of the Cybertruck. It gets people talking. It gets people talking, and whether they'd be interested in it or not, or even if they think they're going to do something that they absolutely hate, they're still talking about it.
That's it. Yeah. It's interesting that they talk about the please don't make the electric version of it. With the argument of being it's all about the engine. That seems to be where this is coming from. We've had this conversation off podcast, haven't we?
We have. We've probably had the conversation on podcast as well.
I honestly can't remember.
Cars that are all about their engine, yes, rather than anything else.
Yeah, should a classic car that's all about the engine be converted to electric?
Yeah, we have talked about this a lot. I think both on and off recording.
I think it's all
because we were talking when we were at Haynes. We were talking about the Gordon Keeble.
That's it. We touched on it in that episode.
We did, and I mentioned that ECC in Wales they've just completed it. He posted pictures of it this week,
which is a perfect car for it, I'd say.
Yes, because that just had a fairly anonymous Chevy small block engine in it that are 10 a penny.
Small block, wasn't it like 5.7?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it is small block. I grant you, but
call it.
Yeah, yes. Maniacs.
I know, that's what they call it. Don't order the big one.
Oh my goodness me!
Tear the side of your house off. Yeah, and we said, well, that car is not, its engine is relatively irrelevant. It's about the rest of it. So actually converting it to electric is fine. Yeah. But you take something like an Impreza, In fact, I saw one just earlier today,
Lovely.
making a very dirty noise.
Oh yeah, will do.
It did have black alloys, though. I thought, well, that's going to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've not even seen it, and it's annoyed me. So,
And that's irritated straight away. Yes.
yeah.
But I thought, I was looking at that and thought, actually, you take the engine out of that, and what you're left with is kind of.
Yeah, it's a bit of a boring Japanese saloon at that
It's
point.
just a little saloon car, then, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a shopping car at that point.
Yeah, and then you think, well, if you take one of the fancy 2-door ones and take the engine out of that, that's really missing the point, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think you do have to, and I'm all for electric conversions as
Oh
you
yeah,
are as well.
yeah.
But I do think you do have to pick your candidate.
That's it. Because if you look at something like Ferraris, for instance, we were discussing the 308, which would be fantastic because they were never the best Ferrari in the world. So pop some reliability into it, and it looks nice. So you're sorted.
It looks nice. In fact, ECC in Wales have done 2.
There you go. But from a similar era, you could say, well, all right, to the non-car person, they could probably have a fleeting glance at a 288 GTO and go, oh, it's basically the same. But don't you dare take the engine out of that one.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a very different animal. Yeah. Yeah. I do think it's important to pick the candidate. And yeah, it's interesting if you look at what ECC, particularly of some of the cars they've done, and it is quite a mixed bag. He's one of the recent ones, I think, is a BMW CSI, which actually needed quite a lot of restoration. It was quite rotten.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the conversion; it was a restoration as well. And I think it was quite an early. It wasn't a 635. It was earlier than that. I forget exactly which one it was.
Yeah.
It might have been the Batmobile one, as they call it.
Yeah.
Quite an early one. And he's done a full restoration. But I think that was quite knackered when he got it.
Okay, well that's a kind of different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Well, that's a twist on it, isn't it? You see, one of the 308s he did was mechanically ruined when he was given it, and the guy had bought it ruined with a view to converting it, but it was cosmetically quite good, but mechanically it was shot.
Right.
And that's kind of what you want. If you can pick up something like that that's mechanically knackered, but your body works okay and your interior's okay, then I think at this point, why go to all the effort of recommissioning or possibly even replacing the piston engine?
Yeah.
Just go electric with it if it's knackered anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I mean that makes perfect sense. That does.
I think so.
And there are other cars like with turds of engines that you think, well, even if it's working, get it out.
Yes, get rid of it. Yes,
I mean, immediately leaps to mind is an electrically converted Stag.
Ooh, yes.
There you go.
No, that would be quite a thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working Triumph Stag.
Yeah. Yes. What actually can be used. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. That sort of thing is perfect. I'm just looking at ECC's website. I mean, he's done the 80s Mercedes SL. In fact, he's done a couple of SLs. One 80s one. I'm not familiar with all my numbers here. And he's also done a 60s one.
Oh my goodness me!
Yeah, indeed. You might need to pop on the website and see if you can tell me which one that is.
Oh my goodness! Right, so because we could be in serious trouble here if he's been touching like the pagodas, the 133s.
It's not a pagoda.
113.
I think it's early. I think there was one at Haynes. You need to pop on the website and just tell me. There's a picture of the Beamer I was just mentioning there as well.
I'm attempting to type.
Electricclassiccars.co.uk is.
Yes, here I am. I've arrived.
And you got it?
Right.
There you go.
Whereabouts is it?
If you scroll down, halfway down, you'll find some Mercedes and a DeLorean.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness me. Right. Okay. We've arrived at SLs. So.
We definitely have.
Oh
Yeah,
right. So we've got the R107, which is the sort
that's
of
it.
late 70s, early
Yeah,
80s.
yeah, that's the one.
Bobby Ewing, Dallas.
I quite like that.
Yeah, love a bit of that.
Yeah,
The next one is it could be a bone of contention here.
problematic, that one, isn't it? Yeah,
Because that's a proper early SL. That's
it is.
either a 198 or a 121.
Well, it does show its number plate.
It does.
So, could we find out?
I wonder what that comes up with, actually. I shan't read it out on air.
No, although you can go to the web address we've just mentioned and see for yourself.
Yeah, but that's fine because that's publicised on their website. Let's not publicise it on ours.
That's not us. Yes, that's true.
Because that could be one of two things. That could be a 300 SL, all of the money. So
yeah, that would seem unlikely that you would have that converted, but maybe. I mean, it looks very tidy.
yeah, so that would be the 198, or it could be the 121, which is the 190 SL, which is the lesser. Which, if you're going to do one, you do that because it's not got the 3-litre inline-six. It's got the 1.9 4-cylinder.
Okay, so it would be a bit more acceptable to take that out.
Yes, so I'm still attempting to type in the number plate because what we're doing is we're engaging conversation, and I've got a very, very tiny brain box, and I can only do one
you can't
thing.
cope with 6 digits and witty repartee.
That's the one, yeah. Well, I can't drop a minute. The colour's wrong. Oh my god. EVLA comes back with a different colour.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, right. It's okay.
Whoops.
It's a 121. It's the 1.9 litre.
Right.
Okay. Right.
You find that more acceptable?
I find that more acceptable. Right. Okay. So that's more acceptable. It's also listed Sawn at the moment.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Well,
that's
it might be. I mean,
it might be.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this photo he's taken is mid progress, so it doesn't matter if there's a color change at that point. So that's fine.
Maybe it is. It looks like it may have got at least one wheel on a public road, but
you don't know where that road is. That could be anywhere.
We won't dwell on that.
That could be a private bit of tarmac. You don't know that.
It could. You're quite right. Yes.
That's fine. Right. Okay. So that's an instance of it being acceptable. They're going, oh my goodness me, is that the right car to do it in? And go, yes, it is. It's all right.
Yeah, that one's all right.
Yeah.
One of his 308s is there. The BMW I mentioned is there.
Okay. Right. So the BMW now that is quite lovely, actually.
It is, isn't it? It's really nice. That yes.
And I think
dark metallic green with a red interior.
Ooh, that is a bold choice.
Dirty. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that particular flavour of BMW to have a colossal opinion.
I don't.
Other than the fact that it still looks splendid, and I bet it goes like stink.
Yeah, well, it will do. It's got a motor in it out of a Tesla Model S. So, yes, it's going to go like stink. He's got a screen-used Spectre Land Rover.
Oh, there it is.
It did a little while ago. Yeah, indeed. That's quite tasty.
Yeah.
Complete with the 007 number plate.
Yeah, I mean, quite cool. I don't want it, but it's quite cool.
Yeah, I don't want it either. But he's done quite a few Defenders, actually. That's quite a popular one.
Okay.
Because, of course, electric is brilliant for off-roading.
Oh, lots of torque.
And a Land Rover Defender is brilliant for off-roading. So you combine the two.
Oh, you're on to a winner there.
You've got, if you want to do proper off-roading, a Tesla-powered Defender is spot on. That is exactly what you would want. Because, like you say, all the torque. All the time, whenever you need it, to all four wheels. But you never get stuck in that.
No, I like that. No, I'm fine with that.
So yeah, it's a wide and varied collection that he's done. I mean, that's only pictures of some of the stuff he's done, but yeah, like you say, I think you do have to pick your candidate. I mean, if that must have been a 300,
Oh, yeah, we would have been in trouble.
You'd have been emailing Mr. Morgan saying, "Now look here."
It's difficult though, because we said about this because there was a car a little while back that sent Twitter into a frenzy. But you go, well, he's only doing what he's been asked to do by someone else.
Wasn't that the Testarossa?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that broke the internet for a little while there.
He
And
is
you go,
only doing he's only doing the cars that the owners bring to him and say, "Please convert this to electric."
quite.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to stop anybody doing that. I mean, it's their car; they can do what they like with it.
Well, they can, and you think the internet needs to calm down slightly because it's not this bloke's fault. You don't need to go, well, as Twitter does, 0 to 100 miles an hour, venomous attack.
No, you don't. And what he does is exquisitely careful work. And in some cases, he is saving cars that would otherwise be knackered.
Yeah.
Because, some of them are. And you also don't know the circumstances of the person that's going to use them. If they are in a part of the world where continuing to run them with their petrol engine is becoming more problematic, if they live in an inner city or something like that, then if converting it to electric means they can carry on using it and enjoying it, and people can see it out on the road, whereas otherwise it would just be sat in a garage, then, where's the harm, really?
Well, quite. Yeah.
They are, I hesitate to say this, they are only cars.
Oh, you're going to start a rumble on here, aren't you? Jesus.
That was a dangerous thing to say, I grant you. But
what on earth? Oh, my. You're going to set me
bear
off.
with me. Bear with me.
Bear
with me. If taking the petrol engine out and putting an electric motor and a battery in means that these cars can be on the road more and for longer and be seen by more people and be enjoyed, if it means they become viable as daily cars again, which they never would be with their petrol engines, and they may even be banned from going into certain places, if not already, then soon, then I think maybe we need to be a little bit less precious about that. And we need to look a bit more to the future and say, well, if it means these cars can hang around, then, maybe this is a good way forwards. I don't know. It's very contentious, aren't you?
It is. I mean, it comes down to the fact of just don't convert all of them. Leave us some.
No, yeah, leave it. Yeah, I agree. But you won't.
No.
No.
There's that was kind of a throwaway comment because there's always going to be some left, and there always will be some left.
And let's be honest, this conversion process is not cheap.
No, even if you've been able to afford your nice classic car, you may not. You may have spent all your pennies on that.
Well, quite exactly, and it does depend on your circumstances and what you want to do with the car. Converting it to electric does mean that some of these classics that otherwise would maybe hardly ever get used could become viable daily drivers again.
Yeah.
So I think it certainly has a place. I think with certain cars, it's easier to make the case than others, for sure. But yeah, please don't be throwing hate at Mr. Morgan, because he's running a business and he is only doing what the owners are asking him to do.
Please, can the internet calm down a little?
Yes, just a little bit.
Okay,
just a little bit. Yes.
So, all right, if we wrap it up then, if we say, we've said it before and I'm going to say it again, if we're going to do an electric car conversion, and no, I'm not going to do the jokey one and say let's do a Focus, even though that's a reasonably good idea.
It actually is, but yes.
Yeah.
The conversions start, I should point out, for a Tesla motor and batteries at £20,000.
Yeah,
you're not taking him a 300 quid Focus.
No, but he'd have to do it, so it's fine.
Oh, he would, and he would love doing it, and it would be tremendous. But the price balance is slightly out.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit wonky, but no, we've said no. The one I was actually referring to is we've said we're going to do a Citroen DS.
Yeah, well, there is one actually. Somebody has done one. Yeah,
but it would be one of the things if I was going to do it and I had the wherewithal, that would be what I'd want.
It's glorious, isn't it? Because again, its engine was quite pedestrian.
And quite old, actually.
And quite old. It was not about its engine. Wasn't it? It's basically the same engine that was the Traction Avant.
I believe so. Yeah. Not
It
considering
was
the rest of the car was quite cutting edge.
Yes, it was. And just how it looked. I mean, can you imagine being 90? When was that launched? 58, 59, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Can you imagine seeing that coming down the street in that era?
Oh, compared to everything else knocking about.
Compared to everything, I mean, that must have looked like a spaceship.
Yeah. So yeah,
just incredible.
So when we really are cashing in on the podcast, that's what we'll have. We'll have the Stuff and Waffle EV converted Citroen DS.
That is a bit of us, isn't it?
That's a bit of us. We'll have a selection of petrol treats at the side, but that'll be our real treat.
Yeah,
that one.
I think so. A DS,
and like you say, daily
a DS with the motor and battery out of a Model S P85. Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay, sold.
I'd like to be dead within the week. Certainly, sir. You'll be wanting the DS.
That's it. Yep, they'll find you with the Citroen steering wheel embedded in your forehead.
You will be at one with it.
Yeah. Yes. But yes, I'm not even saying that's consumer advice. That is our end goal. If we become affluent enough, we're doing it.
I don't think there's any way we could spin that as consumer advice.
That's not consumer advice. That is just me and you. That is what's going to happen.
Well, if we could find a Safari.
Bloody hell.
Oh.
No, you're talking. That's
complete filth.
That is. There you go. Sold.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.